Hey YouTube, Logan with Hideaway Homestead here, coming to you today at the site where the willow fell, and I made a video about that not too long ago. And here where I've cut and taken fodder for the rabbits, we've already got new shoots growing. This tree is going to produce just a ton of willow for the rest of the year. I started collecting here in these buckets. Thought I'd make a quick video and talk about just your fodder setup in general. Whether it's rabbits or any other animal. I am all into taking advantage of local resources, and a lot of these trees around I cut and carry and take it to my rabbits. But once we get established on the main property, I plan on making my systems a whole lot more efficient. I think that it's definitely worthwhile to come out here and harvest this bounty that's already here, but at the same time I want everything to be super efficient, because let's face it, pellets are cheap, and if you're looking at doing something like this, you want it to be efficient because you want to save money. You don't want to spend your life cutting food for rabbits. So having a system where you can access it easily, get it to its destination quickly is super important. And what I have planned to do is, when I get my rabbitry established over on the 9-acre property, is to, around that rabbitry, plant all of my fodder stuff, like my trees, alfalfa, and any other plants that I end up planting for my rabbits to eat. I'm gonna plant those close. This down here is a wonderful resource, but let's face it, it's far from the other, or from the rabbits. So it's one of those things, I gotta come down here and I gotta cut it and put it in buckets and carry it. If I had it really close to the rabbitry, I could just cut all this stuff fresh and throw it in the cage and be done. I think that you could feed a couple of dozen rabbits to maybe 100, which is what our goal is to do anywhere from 2 dozen does with accompanying bucks and offspring, or even up to 100 does and the accompanying bucks and offspring. So that's what we're looking at doing eventually, and we're going to need something that's going to be super efficient. So if we want to do that, we have to look at the logistics of moving this stuff around, because the majority of your cost for doing this is going to be in labor. So we want something really close. So say I had this willow tree and a bunch of others planted all around my rabbitry. We're looking at 5-10 minutes of cutting and carrying. I'd have a separate species, probably like a mulberry, that I would save for tree hay for the winter time, just because it's higher protein to feed to the mothers when I would want to breed them, since the weather would be cooler. And let's say I just had those willows and my mulberries planted all around the rabbitry. Well, for one, I'd be able to get all of my fodder up quickly, but then also anytime I needed to fertilize my trees, the rabbit manure is going to be right there, and I can take that and put it around the trees and cycle the nutrients and the minerals that the rabbits are consuming back into those trees. And that's the thing, when it comes to like pellets versus the fodder, you don't know, like I really don't know if this willow has all the minerals that my rabbits need. So I feed them a variety of different things, and I also feed them pellets. But what's good to know is that if you feed pellets, or if you give them a mineral block, if you'll take their manure and cycle it back into the system, put it around the trees and plants that you're going to feed to them, then you're cycling all of those minerals back into the system, and you don't have to continually buy and do those inputs. Once you've got them on the land and you get it in a closed loop, you are cycling those nutrients, unless you sell your rabbit and somebody eats that rabbit and takes just a small portion of those minerals and they put it onto their land, whether they put it into a septic tank or they use human manure or something like that. It's going to go to their property. So you're looking at getting a pretty closed loop system if you do that. So a little food for thought today. I was down here gathering some of this and just thought that I would make a quick video talking about the fodder trees and the importance of putting them close to your rabbitry, or somewhere that's at least in a central location where you've got access, you know where you're going, and you can do as much of your harvesting at once. So if you like this video, leave a like, and if you found anything that was useful or helpful, leave a comment if you've got any questions or anything to add, and subscribe to the channel for more. I drop a video every day, talk a lot about permaculture and homesteading, and just appreciate everybody watching. We'll see y'all in the next one.